What you're about to experience are my opinions and truths. I'm suggesting they're possibilities for you to consider, in which you can then come up with your own logical conclusions. And hello everyone, welcome once again. My name is Logan, and this is Decode Your Reality. Today I'm doing one on the breakdown of the raven and the dove. This will be coming from the context of Genesis 8. Now, even if you don't fancy the Old Testament, there's still some great information I'm going to be showing to you about the raven and the dove. Notice I have the yin-yang symbol in the background because this is the black and white bird. Special shout out going to Kevin Clark. Kevin, thanks for posting the raven and the dove, and it grabbed me. I started to decode it, and 13 slides in, here I am. I got some amazing information on this. Raven and the dove decoded. So my methods of decoding, most of you know, I use numerology, primarily the Chaldean, but I'll fiddle with some of these other ciphers as well. I take the results of these and bring it into the periodic table. For instance, the raven and the dove equals 79. That's the element gold, which sits right here. Now you might ask, well, what does that have to do with anything? Well, when you start to find patterns in your decoding, and you can kind of put it all together, it's a puzzle. And you can start to see where all this stuff leads to, and the origins, and how this matrix works. We can also measure through the digits of pi. For instance, the number 47 appears at the 119th decimal digit of pi. You type in any number in here, it'll tell you what it is. I also like to use the tarot from the numbers that we get from the outcomes of numerology. For instance, the word "the" is a 14, which matches up with the 14th card in the tarot, which is the Temperance card. And if you know anything about the words, the word "the," it's kind of a bridge word, it's a filler word, but nonetheless, the Temperance card is a card of balance. And that's what that word "the" does. So that's where we really get some good stuff coming from the tarot. And then, of course, I also like to use the cards of destiny, or the cards of illumination. Each card, typical playing cards, 52 cards matching 52 weeks of the year, 4 suits, 4 seasons, and so on. There's all information in here. You can look up your birthday, which is pretty exciting if you're new to this. Check out your birthday. All you have to do is just go to this website, my friend Sharon's website, starthemagi.com, and plug in your birthday. It's really simple. I bet this will be about 80% accurate, if not higher. So anyways, let's move on to decoding the raven and the dove. This is taken out of the context of Genesis 8. I hadn't read this in a while, but man, this blew me away when I read it. You know, especially the first verse. And God remembered Noah and every living thing and all the cattle that was with him in the ark. It doesn't say anything about any other animal, but it had to mention cattle. And you know, if you followed my work on the decoding of the Dalai Lama, I'm very certain that we humans are cattle, and we're being used for energetic food to you can call them the Elohim, the gods, the Yod. But I mean, read this scripture. I mean, why would you just mention cattle? Really interesting. Anyway, this was about the flood, and this is where the raven and the dove come into play. In verse 7, Noah let a raven out, and then he let the dove out, and of course there's 3 times, and there's a lot of information in here. What was really kind of a standout was, you know, you can decode all this stuff. It came to pass in the 601st year. The waters dried up. So this is an important number, 601. So you go to numberempire.com and you type in 601, and I mean, lo and behold, it's the 110th Prime number. You know, if you're new to this kind of stuff, well, this is a big deal. It may not be a big deal if you're new to this, but if you know prime numbers, you know, then you'd probably understand, and of course, what the 110 means and what it's linked to. But anyway, you can keep decoding this. Second month on the 7th and 20th day of the month. All these things you can decode, and that's exactly what this is all about. And it wants you to find what's going on. The big standout for this, folks, besides the raven and the dove, I want to point this out. God's talking to Noah. And, you know, he's saying, bring forth everything that is living. The fowl and the cattle and every creeping thing. But then once they go out of the ark, he's told to build an altar. And then take every clean beast and offer burnt offerings on the altar. Meaning sacrifice the animals. Who does that? Now you may be okay with that. Kind of funny, I have a picture of a dude eating some meat here. But you may be alright with that, man. But you know, when's the last time you saw anybody doing any kind of sacrificing with animals? And could you do that? Would you do that? And here's the big kicker, folks. And the Lord smelled a sweet savor. Burning flesh is a sweet savor to the Lord. This is why, folks, I say the Bible is the biggest conspiracy that's been ever written. That's for another story. I wanted to show you that because this blew me away. We can keep going into this, but I found what I needed to find. Just another nail in the coffin for me. But anyway, we're talking about the raven and the dove, folks. The raven and the dove. Of course, one's black and one's white. There it is. The raven is a carnivore, straight up, feeds off of death. The dove, of course, it will eat insects, according to what I've read, but it's mainly a herbivore. Eats plants and fruits and nuts. And of course, you know, Jesus is linked to the dove. So you have the classic yin-yang right here, folks. And I just, you know, when I started to decode this is what kind of sucked me in. Just this right here. The word raven and dove. Now, I'm using the Chaldean primarily, but you can decode it in other methods or the ciphers. You're going to lead to the same origin. You may have to just go a little bit deeper. But nonetheless, the outcome for raven dove is 41. That's linked to the element neobium. Or neobium, sorry. And the atomic weight of neobium, it only has one, is 92906. So we say 92906. Look at the outcome that we get for this element and its weight coming from raven and dove. 79 as its overall numerology expression. What's interesting is this is the masculine side of the decimal. This is the feminine side. Now why I say that is the next time you go pump gas, you'll notice that this side feeds this side. And you know, going back to the Hebrew language, it was read, the language was read from right to left. Everything started in the east and moved westward. So this was an offspring of this. So this is the masculine, and this is important because, of course, the king on the chessboard, not the most valuable piece, but the piece that everything goes after. The queen's the most valuable because it feeds the masculine, but nonetheless, the masculine is the king of the castle, makes the decisions, the final decision maker. Nonetheless, the 9-2 is a number 33. And that's linked to the element arsenic. Remember the age of the crucifixion. This is important as well, the 74. We're going to get back to that as well. Stick with me. I've shown this before, but the number 41 is extremely important, and I feel that it represents the box that we live in. That's right here. You see, those that rule want to keep you stuck here. They don't want you to get up here because this is enlightenment. This is where you'll understand how things work. Of course, here's the third eye. That's really what they're trying to program without you knowing it. But 41 is, here's the fourth chakra, here's the first chakra. 4, 3, 2, 1. And this is your common stoplight at a traffic intersection. Just the only thing missing is the orange, but it's just flipped upside down. So it's right in your face, right in plain sight, and it's all about the 41. That's kind of how I see this, and I'm getting more to support on that. The elements for Raven and Dove. Raven is a 19, Dove is a 22 overall. They do have individual numbers. We're going to get to that. So Raven is potassium and Dove is titanium. Potassium, titanium through numerology equals the number 63, and 63 is europium, and the 63 is tied to the yod, the YHVH, through the English ordinal. So again, folks, who's running the black and white reality that we live in? Some say it's more than that. Okay. We're strictly talking about the Raven and the Dove, the black and the white. Could it be that this is behind it all? Let's keep going. Bringing the elements and bringing it through alchemy. Let's add up these elements and mesh them together. Go over to the trusty calculator. Here are the atomic weights of potassium and titanium. They end up being 86912. Through numerology, 86912 becomes the number 77. Not just a number, but a master number 77. That's tied to the yin yang, folks. And the weight of iridium, the element 77, is 192963. 192963 becomes 96, which is the yin and yang symbol. That's why I have that up here. And here is the yin yang in birds, the raven and the dove. So see how this is all linked together? You just got to connect the dots. It's a big puzzle. So potassium and titanium are the two elements that are expressed through Raven and Dove, and the abbreviations for these elements is the letter K and the letter TI, and through numerology, K and TI is 241, and 241 is important because NumberEmpire.com shows that it's the 53rd prime number. 53 is linked to the element iodine, folks, and iodine is the I am that I am. It's the only element that has a letter I as an abbreviation. This is a lightning rod, you know, electricity. I am that I am. Really, really important. You're going to see this again and again through this presentation. How about the cards of destiny, or the cards of illumination, as I like to refer to them as? Typical poker deck, man, but big meanings when it comes to nature and the expressions through the mystical arts. The 19th card and the 22nd card, that's the Raven and the Dove. 19th card, 22nd card, the 9 of clubs, the 6 of clubs. How did I get that? Well, I'm going in linear fashion. Starting off with the, I'm going to actually show you so you can see where my expressions are. Here is the deck of cards, starting with the hearts, starting from the ace, which is 1, all the way through king. There's the 13th card. Then starting at clubs, going from red to black. Clubs, ace of clubs would be the 14th card. King of clubs is the end of that, be the 26th card. Then it would go to another red. Now it's going to go to diamonds. And all the way through, and spades is the last suit. I believe there's 2 jokers in a deck. Joker is the fool in the tarot. You have the 0, and then you have the 53. Really, really important that you look at this kind of stuff. And of course, you do have the tarot cards right here, and there's 78 of those. So there's a lot of information here that's tied together. Nonetheless, let's keep going and show you more. So 9 and 6, folks, what is that? That's the yin yang. How is that possible? Anyway, the 19th card and the 22nd card. Because the script was already written before we got here, folks. It's called matching up the numbers. It's being in tune with nature. The matrix wants to be found. Let's break down the words individually and see what their expressions are. The word raven is a 5-letter word, and the individual numbers associated with that is 21655. It has an overall expression of 19. I already showed that. But 21655 is the individual letters. So now we're going to take those letters, or those numbers, and we're going to bring it into the elements and match those up. So the R is 2, that would be helium. A is 1, that would be hydrogen. V is 6, that would be carbon. E is 5, boron. And then N is 5, boron. So if you're new to this, this is how this works. You go over to the trusty calculator, you add up all 5 of those elements. You're going to get a total, 39029. That's linked up to the element yttrium. This one's really important, folks. 88 miles an hour, that Marty McFly had to get the DeLorean to time travel. Really important element, and of course it's the only element with the letter Y, as in the Yod, Yod-He-Vah-He, Yahweh, which later became Jehovah. Same deity, same energy, just packaged differently. What about the word dove? Oh, notice I got a little funny character with Jesus, and of course a dove above his head. I mean, he is represented by the dove, or he represents the dove. You know, this is the white. Of course, in the yin-yang, let me just digress here. In the yin-yang, this would be Jesus right here, because Jesus is the feminine black, and there's the white dove right there. Lucifer is the white masculine yang, and then he's got the raven. So this is how it works. This is exactly how it works. So dove is a 4-letter word, and it's interesting because it has an overall expression of 22, and of course Jesus is known as Michael, is he not? Archangel Michael. They both share that 22. Kind of interesting. Alchemy equals 22, change equals 22. That's what it's all about anyway with this story that we're told. Put your faith in this character. Nonetheless, the alchemy is 4765, beryllium, nitrogen, carbon, and boron. Go over to the trusty calculator. We get a total for dove of 46024. That's linked to the element palladium. Palladium, element 46. Again, it's on the masculine side. So now what happens when we add these two elements up? The raven and the dove, the black and the white. Again, to recap, raven is 39029 and dove is 46024. Go over to the trusty calculator in the middle, add those two up, we get a total of 85053. 85053 equals the number 100. Now, what's so important about 100? Well, there's a show on Netflix called The 100. If you haven't seen it, I'd highly suggest checking it out. It's about these people that are stuck on an ark in outer space. The Earth is uninhabited. Like there was an apocalypse or something happened, and they're stuck in the ark, and then they send these 100 people down to the Earth to see if it's livable again. It's a pretty amazing show because of all the gold nuggets that they give you. And again, it's just the divine talking to you. That's what it is. It's telling you how things work. Notice the break point in the 100. It actually is the snake that eats its own tail. It's actually an 8. So it would be, or we could say it's an 18. That is a possibility. But anyway, how to win the game of life is a 100. And, you know, again, we're talking about raven and dove, black and white. Can't have one without the other, folks. Not down here in this matrix. Maybe somewhere else. So again, raven and the dove, 3929, 4624 becomes 85053. Then we bring in another layer of the periodic table on the elements. That is astatine and iodine. It's interesting because they both have the INE at the end. could decode that as well if we break these words down. But nonetheless, 85 and 53, there's the results. These elements through numerology become the number 47, and you know, if you know my work, this is the big standout, folks. If you don't know what Tetragrammaton is, I'd highly suggest pausing this. Just Google it. It'll take you a minute to catch up on what it is, but it's the 4-letter name of the ancient Israelite god, the Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh. Tetragrammaton means 4. Pyramids have a base of 4 sides, north, south, east, and west. It's a cube. We're stuck in the cube, folks, the box. This was pretty amazing when I started to research this. There's a guy named Cody Jinks. He has a song called The Raven and the Dove. This is the guy right here. This is from his video. Anyway, I always decode songs when they pop into my head. I'd suggest you do the same if you have a song pop in there just out of the blue. But here are the entire lyrics of the song The Raven and the Dove by Cody Jinks. The total numerology on this, folks, is 3354. 3354 becomes 214 and 85 in the 2 main ciphers that I use. What I thought was interesting is, you know, when I wanted to get a picture of the guy, I pulled it, and here he's wearing this shirt, Wait, the Great Teacher Death. So I figured I'd decode that too, and look at, lo and behold, as fate would have it, it also links up with the lyrics of his song. I mean, what are the odds of that being the case, folks? Unless there's something controlling our matrix behind the scenes, running, it got its hands in every single cookie jar possible. What other explanation can you give it? Coincidental? Or I'm just, oh, you're just picking, you're cherry picking things? Maybe you want to use that excuse? Come on, folks. Common sense, common sense. If you've seen my other work, I mean, I have so much supporting evidence showing that this is not a fluke. These are patterns. Many of them. 214 is a big number. 241 is the 53rd prime number. Numbers express themselves. Just because it's not in the same order doesn't mean it's not going to express itself the same. 241, 214, same number. But 85, we're going to come back to that. But what are the odds, folks? Crazy. Going back to Raven and the Dove, again, this is the element Raven is attached to through alchemy. This is the element that Dove is attached through alchemy. Using numerology of that, the yttrium and palladium, we get the number 53. Once again, I told you keep an eye out for it because I'm going to show it again. That is iodine, as in I am that I am. 126904 is its only atomic weight, by the way. It only has 1. Equals 103. 103 is the 27th prime number. That's linked to the element cobalt. And I believe that the CO could in fact mean chaos and order. Chaos and order. Cobalt, 27th element, tied to the number 103 off of I am that I am, coming off of Raven and Dove. Let's keep going. 103, I'm going to show you this now. Because again, it's iodine, which came off of the Raven and Dove, the black and white. 103, 27th prime number, cobalt. But the 103, look at this. Who is the creator of all things? 103. Look at the 103 in here. It's just in a different format, 130. And this one is 310. They all have the same numbers, just in different order, folks. So you tell me who's the creator of all things. What is this telling us? It's where it started right here. It started right here. And it started right here. And it started right here. Black and white, folks. 103 through numerology. Look at the outcomes of this. The number 59 through the Chaldean. Who created Earth is the number 59. The element that's linked to the 59 is praseodymium. This is an interesting element because you'll notice it has the Gemini sign here, as in the twins, and it even says right here from the Royal Society of Chemistry, the name is derived from Greek meaning green twin. I decoded this before in another video. I just forgot which one it was, showing that the twins were Jesus and Lucifer. And of course, I mean, come on, 59, 59, 103, 59. I mean, it's all connected, telling us a story. Through the full reduction, it's the number 73. The number 73 is the 21st prime number. The big standouts of the number 21 is Saturn equals 21, the word love equals 21, the word Yeshua equals 21. Even when you take the second element and the first element, which is hydrogen and helium, and you add those up through alchemy, you get 5.011 or 511. 5 is the level of manifestation. That's where everything gets manifested on. 11 is the number of magic or alternating current. That's how I read that. Look at Domino's Pizza. Check out their logo next time. You'll see a 1 and a 2 on their domino for good reason. 21, folks. It's the last card in the Major Arcana, the World card as well. Strong tie-ins. The 103. What about the English Ordinal? And again, we're talking who is the creator of all things. 103. 154 through the English Ordinal. This is a big one here as well because the element gadolinium is the 64th element. I think I spelled that wrong. But it has an atomic weight of 154. Why is this one important? Well, folks, how many squares are there on a chessboard? 64. How many codons in our DNA? 64. That's why, if you notice in the background, there's the DNA strand, the double helix. DNA, I can't even pronounce it, but DNA, the long word, ends up equaling the number 69. But right there, folks, and I have a little slide right here. Here's the, if you want to fact check it right here. Total is 64 different combinations. What's interesting about this is, of these 64, 61 represent amino acids. 61 is linked directly to the word Jehovah through his alchemy. Ends up being 61.046, but 61. Yahweh, Yod-Heh-Vah-Heh, YHVH, Jehovah, it's all the same energy, including Yaldabaoth. Same energy. Same energy, folks. This has a lot of information in here. Genetic code. Who is the creator of all things? See the tie-ins, folks? This is how you got to put the pieces of the puzzle together. Let's keep going. What about when we add up yttrium and palladium, which started off with raven and dove, 39 and 46th element. Over to our trusty calculator, we get a total of 194809. The element that has an atomic weight of 194 is platinum. And you'll notice, I don't know if you see the color, but here's the white, masculine yang. Here's the black, feminine. So you have Lucifer, Jesus, and then you have the gray, the neutral, or the blend of the black and the white. Gray. Platinum is a gray metal. Or silver. It's a silver metal. A blend of the black and the white. How's that possible, folks? You gotta, you owe it to yourself to start asking yourself, how's this possible? How do these things come out like that? I'm not just showing you one example, multiple examples of now we're getting into silver, gray, the blending of the black and the white, platinum. thought this was kind of interesting because the atomic weight of platinum that has the 194965, it's tied to this one right here of palladium and yttrium, 194809. That equals 111, a triple master number. This could possibly be, folks, our origination. Because 11 is the number of magic, and you have another one that's 3. We know how strong the triune is, the Trinity. 3 things. You know, keep in mind, pi starts off with the number 3. Forget the other numbers, the 1, 4, 1, 5, and so on. It starts off on the masculine side with the number 3. That doesn't change. That's fixed. It's really interesting. You know, I just wanted to throw this in there. This is kind of interesting. This name ends up equaling the number 53. It's kind of funny. I didn't put that in there, but what are the odds, you know? What about the tarot and the cards of illumination? The 78th card, matching that of platinum, is the Ace of Pentacles. Pentacles means physicality. Some people would associate it with money or whatever, but this is the symbology is like a new, something brand new of the physical. This is an ace, so it means 1. The 27th card in the deck of the cards of illumination is the Ace of Diamonds, which is the Ace of Pentacles. Same thing. So you have Cobalt. And remember, I showed you the Cobalt earlier on a different slide. So the 27th card is linked to Cobalt, and then the Platinum is linked to the Ace of Pentacles. But they're the same card because this is where they derive from. Diamonds means Pentacles. Look at the outcome of the 2 cards when you put them together. Ace Diamonds, Ace of Pentacles. 99. 99 is kind of important because it's linked to the Tetragrammaton. The alchemy of the Tetragrammaton, here are its 14 elements. You add those up, you get 99127. 99127 equals 241. And I already showed the 214, but the 241 is the 53rd prime number, which again is iodine, as in I am that I am. Here's the 10th letter in the Hebrew alphabet, folks. The 10th letter is called the Yod, or the Yud. It's what makes time travel possible. The letter Y, the flux capacitor. So 99, 99. Kind of interesting, isn't it? And the Ace of Pentacles, again, I mean, this is what the raven and the dove added up to, together, black and white. The last card in the, what are the odds, man? I mean, the last card in the entire deck of tarot cards. The Ace of Pentacles. And when you read this, this is Truly Teach Me Tarot. This is this lady's website, an amazing website. She does an amazing job. It's called Truly Teach Me Tarot. But look at the meaning of the Ace of Pentacles. It heralds the birth of energy in the material world and suggests abundance, health, and stability. So this is like starting something new, a birth of energy in the material world. Could that not indicate us as human beings? The start of our birth? The 7 and 8? Because, you know, keep in mind, the 7 is the last number in the rainbow, and then the 8 is above that. It's death and regeneration, but you have 7 and 8. So is this our flash of creation? Do we come down from the 8 into the 7? Through the gateway and then come down into our avatars? And this is what it means to really start our lives, is through the Ace of Pentacles, the last card in the minor arcana cards. It's very, very possible. And then we got to work our way back up again. I don't know, but I thought, I mean, what better card to suit this, especially when it's the 78th card that's tied to platinum, that's tied to the raven and the dove. Kind of just blew my doors off, man. Seriously, what is it you see, though, folks? That's all I got, man. But what is it that you see that I missed? I thought this was an absolutely fascinating presentation. Not because I did it, but because of the information that was expressed to all of us. I mean, it's just, to me, it's just mind-blowing that all these links, and it starts to tell a story. I could have added a lot more in here, folks. Trust me, I could have added way more than this. But I mean, come on, look at these outcomes. They all match. And of course, 1 and 3, man, that's the magician and the empress. That's the magician slinging his magic through the empress who gives birth to things. That's why most hotels skip the 13th floor. It's not because they're afraid of the number, it's because they have respect of it. And people that know what the 13 is all about, you know, there's 13 lunar phases, you know, and it's really important. I mean, this would be, you know, the moon, because this would be the dove, this would be Jesus. You know, and of course, this is why this thing's snarling, man. So it's all symbolic, folks, but, you know, that's what we're looking at. The raven feeds off of death. The dove is, you know, a symbol of life. But you can't have one without the other. Not in this Matrix reality, anyway. Not yet. I mean, maybe that could change, but what is it you see, folks? That's all I got for today. My name is Logan. This is Decode Your Reality. Thanks for watching.